Welcome to Spintown, everyone. We're here for another map maker interview, and this time I'm going to be interviewing Strmr because I love his map Geometric. Thanks for being here, Strmr.
Thank you, Sven. Thanks for having me.
Now, I like to start off all these interviews by just getting to know the backstory about how you found Overcast and got into map making. So, how did you find Overcast?
It's a really boring story. I think I played Minecraft with my IRL friends a lot, like my classmates,
Hmm.
and I think like one of them always had like the new fancy servers, and he showed me Overcast, and I was like, yeah, nice. And I don't know. I think when I got ref, I really got hooked on Overcast, and yeah, that's it. Actually, that's how I got here, and I'm still here now.
All right, so how did you get into the map making part of it?
Um, I think when I like just joined, I tried to make a really crappy map and I posted it in submission, so I'm really glad it's hidden there because it's a really shitty map. And I think when I got serious, well, not serious, but with the FFA map contest,
Hmm.
I made a pumpkin spice latte because that was what the contest was about. I basically made the Starbucks cup and apparently people liked it. I don't know. Like, I intended it to be a joke map and be like, yeah, nobody submitted something yet, so I'm just gonna submit my Starbucks cup and watch me win because nobody submitted anything. And, and then it turned out it got a really high community rating, and now it's even in the rods. So it actually hasn't been that big of a joke. It's actually turned into something serious.
That's pretty cool. I have not actually played that map. I looked on your profile and I saw it's one that you've made, but I have not yet actually played it in game. So we might have to change that soon.
We can.
All right. So, are there any like secrets or special strategies you would like to let me know about Geometric? Because that's one I have played and I do like a lot.
Well, it's the problem is its rage, and it's basically keep moving. And I always find the top to be very um, satisfying if you're there, because it's if you're like on the big pillars at one end, you can easily guard yourself, because basically everybody clusters on the roof in the middle. But on the other hand, if you just keep running around and melee everyone, that can be very effective as well. It really depends on how people play. And because it's symmetrical, it's also really balanced. So there's no really one good spot.
Hmm.
Because everything you can get backstabbed everywhere. People jump down on you or you, from behind. So watch your back, basically.
Yeah, I the first time I realized that there is no names like visible on that map was when I was playing Anthony and Pepsi, and I thought Anthony was like on the other side of the map. We were like in a bow duel, and I was hiding behind a pillar. Then all of a sudden, he's jumping around the corner, kicking my ass because I did not realize he was running up on me because the names weren't there, and I was like, "Oh, I need to watch that."
Yeah,
But
it's like
that's a cool feature. I like it. It makes it more a little intense as far as like you got to be on edge a lot more.
it's like I think Jay Turwish helped me a lot with the XML because I was a scrub when I made the map.
Hmm.
It was like my first serious map. Like I intended it to be something really people could play, and it was on MapDev, and it what is the observer spawn basically is what I made as a layout. Like this could be a map. I was basically brainstorming, and then um, the day after I came back, and I think Strangey and Pepsi or Strangey and Jay Turwish basically built a giant version of it, and basically just would roll at it, and they said like it's a good map, it has potential, you should finish it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna change the color and. But I want to keep the simplistic design. I don't want to make anything complicated to it because I just don't know yet how everything works with gameplay and stuff. And then I made the XML, which took me 2 to 3 hours. While now I know that FFA is one of the most easiest ones to make. And then, of course, it had a lot of errors too.
Hmm.
So it actually took a while for me to get everything working, but it got result in the end, which
Well, you
is
kind of
great.
answered like two of my questions with that one answer, so you're doing good. Because I was going to ask about like other people who might have helped you, and you just listed a number of them. Is there anybody else you want to mention that may have helped in some way?
Um, well, I think that's everyone.
You
Because
got them all?
I don't know. Yeah, I got them all. But yeah.
All right. Well, what was like the original inspiration for this idea, though? Do you remember?
Um, well, I think the spawn observer spawn is like
Just
collared, and I wanted to make okay. The inspiration was okay. This sounds it's a really complicated story, and
okay.
on the Nintendo Wii, you had a James Bond game, and James Bond GoldenEye, and in that map you had multiplayer, and you had a map called Nightclub, and basically what Nightclub was a bunch of brightly colored alleys. So I was like, okay, that could work in FFA. If it works in another game, why doesn't it work in Minecraft?
Mm-hmm.
And that was my inspiration, and that's why I made it so tiny and with a bunch of colors, and then all of a sudden it was big. But that's basically where the inspiration came from. Not exactly worked out, but
All right.
was the idea.
I've seen that you've worked with other people, like and credited other people with some of your maps. Do you prefer working alone, or do you like to work with other people in general?
Mm, I think I usually am really insecure of what I built
Mm-hmm.
because like aesthetics wise, I usually somewhat know what I'm doing. Not always, but it's not my strongest point, to be fair. But I really like to get some input on layout and what people think. I think it's usually a good thing if maps are made by multiple people because you have some sort of reflection and it usually gets you further than just building something on your own and then later improving it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, what game mode do you like designing for most? I mean, I know you started off with the FFAs, but is there?
Mm,
Do you like the other game modes?
I
Designing for those?
think CDW really. I at one point I tried to do something. I tried to put some really innovative CDWs out there. I barely finished any, but like the ideas were there. I wanted to make CDWs where you could only bridge with a certain block, and you had like spawners spread out on the front lines where you had to wait before you got blocked. So you had more team play. Like one person would gather blocks while the others would cover him with bow fire, and like special spots that were more deserted, but you would get a more powerful bow. So basically, going there would be rewarded by giving you a powerful advantage against people that weren't in that spot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
So you had the
CDWs.
ideas, but you didn't have the motivation to finish. Or?
Yeah, well, maybe it was. I think what's the big stop in that is that XML. I'm like not a coder guy,
Yeah.
and XML is always so complicated for me, like with the filters, and I have no clue what to do. So that was basically like I usually come a map. I built like 75%,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have to finish these few things, like say wool rooms. I have to build wool rooms, and then when I build the wool rooms, I'm gonna think like, I have to do the XML after this. I don't want to do the XML. I'll just don't finish the wool rooms. So there are a bunch of maps spread out over some MapDAF servers that aren't finished, and now I'm not sure if I'm gonna finish them with OCN shutting down, but they're there. So if anyone's interested, they're not that good too. They're from my more starting era, so they're
No.
really plain and simplistic, just like geometric. In fact, actually.
Well, again, simplistic maps doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing. The gameplay on Geometric's great, so that's all that really matters. And there's plenty of other good maps out there that are very simplistic in design that just play great, and that's the main thing. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, let's see. Do you design for the hardcore player or the casual player in general, or do you not even think about it?
Honestly, I don't think about it, but like if I always what's actually if I think about it when there is this stop, it's like when I make something innovative, I'm always like, this is gonna be way too complicated. Like people are not gonna understand my map. So I really want to make something for the casual player, but it's most of the time more for the hardcore player.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, if you make something for casual players, it's there's like a dilemma because if you make something for hardcore players, casual players are most likely not gonna like it because it's too hard. But if you make something for the casual player, it's usually too easy for the hardcore player, and they're just gonna get overrun.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to find that balance, I'm sure.
Mhm.
I don't have a lot of experience with it, but I would just imagine, trying to find the perfect, like the walk the line between the two groups is kind of hard.
Yeah, it is. It's what you see in the current OCN maps, though. It's map making is underestimated. I think. Like, if you want to, how many really good maps are there? They're not a lot. If you think about it.
But that's all very subjective as well, though.
Yeah, yeah, it
Because if
is.
I'm a
It's
hardcore player, then I'm like, there's like the maps I think are really good are going to be different from the casual player who's like trying to
exactly.
name off the list. So
So it's really hard to find maps that everybody thinks they're good.
yeah. Well, even classic maps like the Nile, it's like always been in the rotations. People love it, but there's
Mm.
also a faction of people that just absolutely hate it. Like, let's rush, get through this one through. We don't want to play this one. It takes too long. But
Yeah, yeah,
so
exactly, exactly.
so even the maps that everybody or the majority of the community likes, there's always going to be people that dislike it. Um, let's see. I ask everybody this boring question, but there's always people out there who want to know what tools do you use. So, what tools did you use in making your maps?
Um, I'm like a foxhole noob. I
Okay.
like can create some dirt, and I'm like, shit, what do I do now? So all of my maps are pretty much made with world edit or by hand. So yeah.
It's pretty much the way I got to do it. Is if I
Hmm.
need something big put in there, I'll get one of my friends to do world edit because I can't even do that. And then the rest of my map is made by placing it in creative, one block
Oh
at a time.
well, actually, NMC edit, but that's more if I have to fix things. Like
Hmm.
I just hate it when my map is in like on a map dev server. You usually only see void,
Yeah.
but when you download it and you go into World to take like your pictures and get everything ready, compress the file, stuff like that, and there's like dirt because it's a flat world. I like have to generate a new world. I have to grab my map and put it in the world that doesn't have the dirt because otherwise I'm just going crazy. And that's what I use MC Edit for, and of course for pruning the map. But I think everybody who releases maps in Overcast uses MC Edit for that.
All right. So, what do you think your biggest weakness is as a map maker?
My biggest weakness, I don't have to think a lot about that, and that's I can't build organic stuff like trees or rivers or terrain. I'm not good at that at all.
Yeah, I don't think I could do that either. I like to build symmetrical stuff. So,
Yeah, me too. I love to build buildings and do stuff with color patterns, but as soon as it has to be like growing or flowing, it yeah. Don't come to me for that.
yeah, I feel you there. Let's see. What is your favorite map that you've made thus far? The one that you're kind of like the most proud of?
Um, it's not loaded. It hasn't been tested. It looks, in my opinion, it looks great. It's a CDW. I've released it. It just hasn't been loaded at all. I think it has been looked at. I'm not even sure about that, but it's Chartreuse. It's Timothy gave me that name. It's a mountain in France, but it's a CDW that's basically the wool room is on top at spawn, but the lane of the wool room is really complicated because they're like walls, so you can't really knock someone out of the void.
Oh,
But
okay.
the wool room, on the other hand, is fairly open. But because of the walls, people can't shoot in from the sides only if they're on the lane.
Hmm.
Which,
Well,
yeah,
it's a new idea. I haven't seen one like that.
I
Or is there?
uh, I'm not sure. I haven't seen it, but there might be.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't think I've seen one like that.
Yeah,
So,
I'm
you have
still
any hope of
hoping
that
it's.
getting that played or tested yet? Still, you got a week
Yeah,
left.
I have that tiny bit of hope inside me that it's gonna be loaded.
Yeah,
I,
same with me and my map. I've made one. XML got done by somebody, and it got tested, but the XML was all borked. It didn't work at all. So I'm kind of like, I just have a tiny bit of hope, but it's not ever happening at this point.
Aw.
Let's see. What is your favorite map that you didn't have anything to do with? So somebody else made the map. You didn't give any input on it at all, but you love the map. What's your favorite?
Warlock.
Warlock is okay. Do you
Yeah.
like the destroy the monument version, or do you like the capture the flag
No,
version?
no, 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 no. Destroy the monument, of
Okay,
course.
okay.
I it just brings me back to that time there was on when OCN wasn't dying necessarily,
Yeah.
not big, but just steady player flow, and like the mini servers were full,
Hmm.
and then you would hop to mini server for mini server, hoping there was Warlock, and then there would just be this 1 hour game of Warlock, and like everything would be dug out and pain looping. It just amazing. And the most amazing strat I've ever seen on there. I still don't know who made it, but I always try to do that when I have time. Basically, Warlock has this part of the map is a bit elevated, so you can tunnel under it,
Okay.
but it's only 2 blocks, so you can't make like a bridge covered. You can't walk on it. But then I saw someone who made a bridge, but instead of putting a block under it, he put a trapdoor on the bottom half of the bridge.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
So he could basically go where nobody could come and just straight through the monument under the map.
I
And I
have
was
not
so
seen that.
amazed by that because it was almost impossible to stop.
Yeah. That's
And
pretty cool. I like it when people find stuff like that the map makers didn't intend.
yeah, it's hard to build though because
Hmm.
trapdoors.
Yeah, I when I think of Warlock, I think of when the mini servers first went up, because I do remember seeing Warlock on almost all of them in the rotations, and it came up a lot, and I played that one quite a bit. That's a good one. Let's see. Is there a map out there that you just can't stand? Don't know why it was ever in the rotations, why it was even tested. It's just a horrible map that you want nothing to do with. And if you don't feel like answering this question because you're basically throwing
Oh
somebody else under the bus, we'll
no,
skip
no,
it.
no! I don't mind.
Okay.
A good map maker should stand critics.
Hmm.
Um, honestly, a lot of people like the map, but Dynamo,
Oh, yes, I don't like that
it's
one.
I don't. I'm sorry. I just don't know why people like it.
I can think of ones I hate a lot more, but that isn't one I play. I just didn't really care for that one either.
I am.
All right, has there
Yeah.
ever been a? Oh, sorry. Did you have more to
No,
add
no,
about
no,
that one?
no, no, no. I don't.
All right. Has there ever
Yeah.
been a time where you completely disagreed with the community's opinion of a map that you made, good or bad? Maybe they liked it and you hated it, or vice
Well,
versa.
pumpkin spice latte. I
Yeah.
thought it was shit, and everybody liked it.
True. Yeah, I should have remembered. Yeah, that's the first thing you brought up. Is like how you didn't expect it to be much of a map, and then all of a
Yeah,
sudden it turns
and
out.
like the map makers didn't like it either. It was like it scored poorly on everything, and then it was the highest of all the maps on community rating. It actually still is on. It's one of the highest network-wide rated maps. Like it's if you go to all maps, it's sorted on rating.
Hmm.
My map is on the first page. It's
You
there.
sound rather proud of that.
Yeah, I'm really proud of that.
That is pretty cool.
It's right at the bottom, but it's there.
You're on the front page. That's all that matters.
Exactly.
All right. Now, when you build a map, you have an idea that's in your head. When you build it, does it usually look like that product that you initially had in your head, or does it change a lot as the building process goes along?
It really depends, because like if you look at government, I
Yeah.
don't know if you know the map, but I specifically rebuilt a building that's there in real life.
Oh, okay.
It's like I don't have that much fantasy. People should get that. But like, of course, it's not exactly the same. It's Minecraft. You can't do everything the same. I changed a bunch of stuff, and but it's still the result was based on something in real life. And I actually wanted to start a series, but it then I was like, everything is going to be the same if I do that because I'm really into that classical kind of building theme.
Yeah.
But I like the result of it a lot, and I think I could be proud of what I started. And I I still think I did a good job on imitating something, which may sound weird. Yes, I know it's not that original, but
Well, I
I
think
mean, if you
everybody's
take
done that at some point, whether it was for a map or another project in Minecraft. If you played Minecraft, you've probably tried to build either your own house or somebody else's house in your family or something. You always try to build something in real life at some point.
yeah, yeah,
So I think
true.
people will feel that. Just click the annotation to watch part 2 of my interview with Strmr.